Welcome back to Dog Talk West Virginia. I'm Shane Rains, and in this week's episode, we have brand new 2019 Bass Nation of West Virginia High School State Champions. Also, points races and all these trails are heating up across the state and the surrounding areas, and also some really cool tournaments coming up and much more. So stay tuned. What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Dog Talk West Virginia. Like I said, there's a lot to cover. I know it's been a few weeks since I've had a new episode out. I know everyone's been busy. Had the state high school championship for Bass Nation of West Virginia a couple weekends ago. Then this last weekend was the kickoff of the Trail of Dreams Pro-Am series on the Kanawha River. So I did some pre-fishing for that leading up to that tournament. So it was kind of busy. But we are back, got a lot of updates for you this week, and I'm excited to go over them. So before I get kicked off, I owe my buddy Bo a huge thank you. He surprised me last night with this really cool polo with Dog Talk logo. That was special. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. These will definitely be put to good use, so thanks, buddy. But let's dive right into it. Stonewall Jackson Lake, a couple weekends ago, Bass Nation of West Virginia High School. It was the big state championship. So 51 teams, I believe, qualified for the state championship. And the fishing was very, very tough. After talking to a lot of teams and a lot of other anglers, and even from our personal experiences out there practicing, it was very, very tough. These fish are actually transitioning from actually spawning to post-spawn. Just real finicky. We all know how that gets. Those fish pull off. The big females are trying to recoup. You have some males feeding after their long duties of guard and fry and protecting the bed and the nest. So it was very, very tough. But as always, there's always a group of teams, some teams that always find fish. And this year, your 2019 Bass Nation of West Virginia High School State Champions go to Nick Kuhn and Kyle Gannon, and they are part of the Lewis County Bass Anglers or Lewis County Bass Club, and these guys hammered them. They weighed in an absolutely impressive bag of fish for especially how tough the fishing was, for $12.92. $12.92 took the win, and they just merely bested second place, which was another Lewis County Bass Club team, Lewis County Bass Anglers. The second place team went to Ethan and Jacob, which was Ethan Wenzel and Jacob Heater. And they're all from Lewis County High School, both of these teams. So here's a really cool deal that I heard. These boys went out pre-fished from the bank, from kayaks, and they found these fish. I spoke with the boat captain, Travis Heater, super great guy, just super guy. And he told me all about it. These boys found the fish, shot him a message, contacted, said, hey man, we found them from the bank. Can you get us to these fish? Absolutely, he told them. He got them to these fish, and these boys hammered them. So that speaks volumes about the work that these kids put in. When you're a youth and when you're high school, you don't always have access to a big boat. So guess what? These kids found a way to go out, find fish, and they absolutely wrecked them on tournament day. Congratulations to the new 2019 West Virginia Bass Nation of High School State Champions. And again, Nick Kuhn and Kyle Gannon. Congratulations. And the runners-up was, of course, Ethan Wenzel and Jacob Heater. So, giant bags, first place bag, $12.92, second place bag, $12.15. And the weights just dropped after that. It was an extremely tough tournament. One fish, two fish, some blanks, and that's fishing. It gets extremely tough. These boys showed up, and they put their skills I would say to the test, but there was no test. These guys hammered them, and they come out on top. So what's that mean? So your state champions, your runners-up, your top 2 teams for the state championship automatically won a spot into the Mossy Oak, the 2019 Mossy Oak Fishing High School Championship presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, and that will be held August 8th and 10th, Kentucky Lake in Paris, Tennessee. Congratulations to those 2 teams. Here's another cool fact. I know you saw it in the interview with the team trail champions from the high school, and that was Lucas Wright and Dakota Stout. All 3 teams are Lewis County High School angler teams. So how cool is that? That just proves what kind of program they have going on up there. These kids are anglers. They are phenomenal anglers. They put in the work, and it shows they came out on top. So they're sending 3 teams to the national championship. How special. Congratulations to each one of you, and we will be rooting you on. West Virginia is behind all of you in your journey to the national championship, so congratulations. So next piece of little information, next piece of news, we have all these points races heating up. Across the state, you have multiple trails, and as you know, if you looked on the DNR website for tournaments, there are 700 plus tournaments throughout the year scattered across the state and surrounding the boundaries of the state. So there's a ton to cover. I know I can't cover them all, but we'll hit on some of the major points races that are heating up. We're sitting smack dab in the middle of the season so far. So we're going to dive right into it. And we're going to start off with the Marshall University Bass Fishing Trail. This was brand new for this year. So if you remember some of the videos before, they are taking 10 teams, your top 10 teams from each division, the Wildcat division and the Thundering Herd division. So let's dive right into the Wildcat division of Marshall University Bass Fishing Trail. So first place currently, Brandon Meddings, Gabriel Smith sitting in first. Second place, Zach Smith, Scott Smith. Third, Greg Lewis, Dylan Mullins. Fourth, Aaron Berry, Mick Sansom. Fifth, Matthew Berry and Keith Sansom. Sixth place, Greg Benson, Tim Schaefer. Seventh place, Everett Chapman, Danny Brenniger. Eighth place, D.R. Beckner and Corey Atkins. Ninth place, Austin McLeod and Jacob Cum. 10th place, Donnie Blyben and Brian Maynard. Here's the cool thing. There has only been, it looks like, 8 or 9 teams to actually fish all 3 events. So what's that mean for the newcomers? If I look down through this list, there's only about 3 or 4 other teams, and most of those teams are sitting in the top 10 that have only fished 2 events. So there is still some room. If you show up to fish a Wildcat division, the last two tournaments, and finish well enough, you could easily keep up and bounce yourself right in that top 10. It would be tough, but there is still opportunity to do so. You know, you never know. Some people might have prior obligations and can't make a tournament. So this is a great opportunity to still get involved in a Wildcat division to possibly make up those points to qualify in the top 10. So let's jump over to the Thundering Herd division. Thundering Herd division's had 2 events so far. First event kicked off on Sutton Lake. Second event was on Stonewall. So they actually have a tournament, the 3rd stop for the Thundering Herd division this weekend, and that is the Kanawha River. So here's the exciting thing. With only 2 events down, there is all kinds of time with 3 events left to make your way into that championship in the top 10. So there's only been about, it looks like 10, 12 teams that's fished both events so far. Then you jump straight down the rest of the field, the other 10, 15 teams. They've had 30 or so boats follow along in this trail in this division. So there's plenty of time to jump up and get in that top 10. Great opportunity. But we're going to go over so far who's leading the points. And my good friends Darren Elder and Reed Elder, I've fished against these guys for a while now. Great guys. Congratulations, guys. You are leading points currently. Second place, Brian Fitzgerald and Dylan Fitzgerald. We all know those names. Dylan Fitzgerald, your reigning, well, now it would be last year's high school state champion, and also the reigning adult state champion. So that's super cool. No surprise seeing those guys towards the top. So 3rd place, Jeremy Byers and Hunter Ebert. 4th place, Jacob Cum and Austin McLeod. 5th place, Mike Williams, Tim Williams. That's actually a tie for 5th. Kenny Day and Rick Harris is sitting tied for 5th as well with Mike and 10. Andy Gillenwater, Charles Lee, 6th place. 7th, Thy Ding and Tony Dean. And 8th place, James Pretty, Jason Pretty. 9th place, Matt Summers, Eli Ward. 10th, Mike Batten and Mike Batten Sr. So that's where they're sitting as far as top 10, who's kind of sitting pretty so far. But with 3 events, there's going to be a lot change in that points race. Ed Powell and Logan Powell just outside the top 10, absolute sticks. And Ed had a great finish over the weekend at the Pro-Am Series for Trail of Dreams. So watch out for those guys. And with the tournament coming up on the river this weekend, yeah, they're going to catch some fish. So Everett Shelton, Greg Haynes sitting tied for 11th as well. Tyler Klein, Tim Klein, Luke Long, Nathan Harper. All these folks are just outside of that top 10. Another wonderful names, great sticks, Johnny Crockett, Aiden Crockett, father-son team, Justin Stanton, Nick Batista, the Fleshmans, you name it. There's all kind of room to make up that ground. So get involved. This weekend, Kanawha River, reach out to them. I'm actually keeping up on some river conditions for them. We'll hit on that a little bit later, but currently the river looks good, so it looks like it's going to be a go thus far. They're supposed to update on Friday. So I'm going to be looking at the river, kind of keeping them updated on that. So points race is heating up. Marshall University Fishing Trail. Check it out. So we'll move right along. Now you got Bass Nation of West Virginia Adult Buddy Trail. They have 4 events down. The last event, the championship on the Mon River in Fairmont. This is exciting. This is where all the points races come down to the bitter end. Big championship. And they're taking the top 15 teams. The top 15 teams from the Buddy Trail through Bass Nation of West Virginia get an automatic bye into the state championship. So it's a huge incentive to fish the trail and see what happens. If you can finish in the top 15, you don't have to worry about fishing a qualifier. You can if you want to, because one team member has to be a boater, while other team member will be a non-boater, but they can still fish qualifier and try to both qualify as possibly boaters. So you will see some of that go on, but a lot of these folks are pumped to get in. That's what they're fishing for all season. So your top 15 teams currently: Brandon Tallhammer, Nick Palhandas leading the points. Jason Cusick, Gary Ross II. They've had a great year thus far. Will Diffenbaugh, Pick Diffenbaugh, 3rd place in points. Randy Huffman, Ken Hackworth, president of the Bass Nation. No surprise, absolute sticks there. 4th place currently. 5th place, the Fleshmans, Robbie and Robert Fleshman. Dion Bright, Brian Clausen. 6th place in points. 7th, Mike Moore, Mark Moran. 8th place, Tony Crumbliss, Jim Miracle. 9th, Dustin Holland, Billy McVeigh. 10th, Tony Keller, Mark Oakey. 11th place, Alan Fluharty, Chad Brenniger. 12th, Daniel Pearl, Justin Talkington. 13th, Ben Holcomb, Matt Gower. 14th, Todd Lane, Grant Mickey. Hopefully I said that right. And 15th place, Steve Marks and Brandon Marks. So that's your top 15. A lot can happen that last tournament at the championship up on the Mon River. So that is going on this weekend. The Mon River, the championship. So hopefully with all this rain that doesn't get blowed out. I'm excited to see who comes out on top. So best of luck to all of you. Be safe up in Fairmont on the Mon. So that's exciting. Also, your West Virginia Bass Federation points race is heating up. Now, I follow this pretty closely through this year, and it has been a back and forth. There has been bounces around in that top 5, top 6, top 10 all season long. So this is really exciting. So their last tournament, they've had 4. The last tournament is on the Kanawha River, and that is June 16th. So that's coming up in a few weekends. So this will determine top 2 spots automatically get a spot in the national qualifier, the TBF national qualifier. That is going to be exciting. So that's where the race is. You want to be in those top 2 teams. You want to finish in the top 2. So currently, top spot, Jim Posey, Johnny Crockett. Phenomenal season so far. They're sitting at 380 points. So the points race is extremely tight in the top 6 or 7. These top 6 or 7, it could go any way for the final tournament. Tim Wade, Dave Rice sitting in second place. They're just 2 points behind with 378. Mike Goff, Alex Goff, another great finish. Last two tournaments have been phenomenal finishes for them. Obviously, they've had a great season, 376. They're only 4 points behind the leader of Jim Posey and Johnny Crockett. So fourth place, Jeffrey Jason Gillespie, 374, only 6 points out. Robert Harkness, Rick Harkness, 371. So you're sitting, you're talking 9 points. And then sixth place, got to know these guys a little bit. Cody Blankenship, Steve Blankenship. Their goal this season was to go out and just hammer down, fish this trail, fish hard, and stay at the top. And they have done so. They have worked their butts off. They're sitting sixth right now. They're still in the hunt, 368. You're looking at 12 points out. That could easily go in any way. With a field of 25, 30 boats, is what they've kind of been averaging, a few more at a few tournaments. It could go any way. Have a couple of those top teams fall, have a rough day, and the canal's been fishing tough, then anyone could jump up in those top two spots. So best of luck. I cannot wait to see how this shakes up. That's going to be very, very exciting. So, like I said, top two teams are going to earn a free entry in the 2019 National Qualifier. So, let's jump right on to the Trail of Dreams. Like I said, Trail of Dreams had their very first Pro-Am Series tournament held on the Kanawha River this last weekend on Saturday. You got 24 committed boaters. There was 11 co-anglers. And this will be your field for the Pro-Am for the entire season. Those 24 boaters are locked in all three tournaments. We've got on June 15th coming up. That will be at Stonewall. So this one was actually on the Kanawha River. Very, very tough fishing. Official practice day was Friday, and the cool thing with the Pro-Ams is off limits Monday through Thursday, cannot even be on the water, and then starting Friday and Saturday, when you're pre-fishing, official practice day on Friday, you can only fish and gain information from another competitor or with another co-angler. That's the only people you can actually pre-fish with. Has to be another competitor. So that's a really cool rule that they threw in there. That's part of the tournament. It kind of levels the playing field. And when you go out and practice and you can figure something out on that day, you get rewarded for it. And kind of just makes things very, very interesting. 5 fish limit for the boater, 3 fish limit for the co-angler. So it was a very, very tough tournament. Shout out to the Markses. Steve Marks took the win with over 7 pounds. Brandon Marks second place, just shy of 7. These guys always catch fish everywhere they go, especially the Kanawha River. And they went 1 and 2. Father and son, super cool, great guys. Very excited for them, even though I didn't finish quite as well as I would like. But nonetheless, you're always excited to see some buddies take a win. So congratulations to you all. And a shout out to Eric Gregory, my co-angler, actually finished 4th, just out of the money. Nonetheless, a great tournament. And congratulations to you, buddy. Had a great time out there with you, sharing the boat. So, what's actually going on with other Trail of Dreams tournaments? So, as you know, they have already qualified so many anglers for the no entry fee championship at the end of the year. Top 5 teams from each tournament, Master Series, Open events, Open Series events, get an automatic qualification into the no entry fee championship. I'm going to go over some of those as quickly as I can that's already qualified. Russ Simpson, Cody Walker, team of Eddie Humphreys, Keith Tyler, Charles Carr, Gerald Carr, the Nottinghams, Rick and Ryan, Eddie McNeil and Jay Phillips. Those are actually last year's 2018 Angler of the Year, Team Angler of the Year for Trail of Dreams. So those guys, no surprise, right up here in the mix. Luke and Mike Long. Now all those folks qualified at Sutton through the Sutton tournament. Then you jump to Summersville. You got back-to-back Summersville weekends. You had the Open Series and also the Master Series. So Mark Thomas, Timothy Brown, Lyle Atkins and Jim Embry, Tony Keller, Mark Oakey, Steve Gross, Bart Backus, Brian Childers, Ed Clark, Jeff Crowther, Steve Whittington, Dwight Justice and Tommy Thompson, Randy Huffman, Mike Richardson, J.R. Hoops, Al Furnett, Brad Backus, and Carl Koger. So all those folks qualified through those 2 tournaments on Summersville. So now we're up to 16 teams. There was an extra one at Sutton. So May 11th on Yatesville took 5 more teams qualified. Kerry Basin, Donald Hinkle, Kevin Wells, Philip Pavetta, James Preston and Larry Crum, the team of Bradley Merritt and Chris Scholl, and Mike Conley and Kevin Frazier. So that's 21 teams that's already qualified for the no entry fee championship. No entry fee. Show up, fish, and the prize money's continuing to grow throughout the year. That's very, very exciting. With the reschedule of the 2-day Rolling on the River, because that did get canceled due to river conditions. You got Ohio River coming up this weekend out of Gallipolis. Crossing our fingers, I know the Ohio River is expecting a ton of rain this weekend, so hopefully it doesn't get blowed out. So with that, hoping 5 more teams qualify through the Ohio River event. And then, of course, August 24th, you have Canal River, and October 5th, a Sutton Lake event as well. So there's still room to qualify for this no entry fee championship. Just show up, finish in the top 5, and you are in. So that's exciting. And we'll follow up throughout the year and see who else makes it in. Also, the 2019 Ohio River Buddy Trail points race is heating up. They've had 2 events, April 20th on Belpre and May 18th at Frontier Ramp. That's obviously St. Mary's area. I do know they have an event coming up this weekend, June 1st, at a Belpre. If I'm not mistaken, I saw where they've already released information that would be canceled. They're expecting the Ohio up in that area to raise 8 to 9 foot. They've just been hammered this year. They've had some very unfortunate weather, a lot of rain. River conditions has been tough all year, high and muddy and rolling. They've absolutely been pounding. So we're hoping all that gets better throughout the year. They can make up some of this. But in the meantime, 2 tournaments out of the way. Points race heating up. T.L. Tompkins, Corey Gwynn. We've heard that name all over. They're leading the points right now. Shane Lockhart and Ben Lockhart, 2nd place. You got Steve Bell, Mike Lynch sitting in 3rd. Wendell Walker, Jeff Robinson, 4th. You got, Brett Gerald and Ron Schultz, 5th. Jason Suter and Brian Suter, 6th. Paul Bowie, Logan Bowie, 7th. Frank Douglas, Buster Owens, 8th. Greg Wilson, Mark Eaton, 9th. Joe Matheny, Jim Matheny, 10th. So, and this goes on. You have some amazing teams. There's the Burgers just outside the top 10. There's some phenomenal teams still right in the mix. That's going to be heating up. I really like following along with that, especially how tough fishing's been. This could go either way. I know these anglers are just chomping at the bit, ready to get out there and get these tournaments in. So I'm excited to see what they put up throughout the season. So congrats everyone so far. Let's see what happens here towards the end of the season. Also, like I said, I don't know. The West Virginia Bass Festival tournament is going on this weekend. That is, let's see. I'm sorry, it's actually next weekend. That'd be next weekend, the 7th and 8th. So hopefully they get this tournament in. With all this rain and Ohio expecting to get up there and rolling, the Bass Festival coming up in a couple weekends, that's going to be extremely exciting. If you don't know, they paid out $15,000 to first place last year. The payouts are huge. I don't even know if there's any spots open. It feels extremely fast. You can always look them up on Facebook, message the page, and see what's up. But that is the 2018 West Virginia Bass Festival tournament. And that's coming up 7th and 8th. So huge turnout. There's a huge event going on over the weekend there. Probably one of, if not the biggest tournament in and around the area. So you got to check that out. If you want more info, shoot me a message. I'll try to get you in contact with the proper folks. Also this weekend, Casting for Kids. That is a 2-day tournament this weekend. That's actually being put on by Casting for Kids, Big Sandy Shrine. Tons and tons of money is raised. This is a huge event every year. This is their 5th annual Casting for Kids event, and it's held on Paintsville and Yatesville. It's actually Yatesville Day 1 on Saturday, and Championship Sunday actually goes to Paintsville. So that's really, really exciting. You get a separate body of water to go fish. So that always shakes things up. I love that format. And there is just an absolute, like I said, wonderful cause that a pile of money is raised to help these kids that the Big Sandy Shrine donate to what the main cause is. So it's very exciting. I know this tournament's full. It fills up every year. They hit that cap extremely fast. So best of luck to all the anglers. Love what you all do down there. And hopefully next year I'll be able to get down and see if we can't do some filming and see what this is all about. So kudos to what you all do. This is great. And also a tournament coming up on the 8th. So not this coming up weekend, but the following weekend. This tournament is near and dear to my heart. Two of my great buddies put on this tournament. They have been doing this for multiple years now. I believe this is the 6th, 7th, maybe 8th year. I'd have to check. But the In Honor of James Wiseman Fishing Tournament will be at Daniel Boone June 8th. Entry fees $125. Phenomenal tournament. Goes to a wonderful, wonderful cause. We lost James in a motorcycle accident years back. Dearly missed every day. And his young son, he never got to meet, young Terrence. And if you follow along with Bass Nation Jr., him, Uncle Joe Wiseman out there, they are grinding out, have some phenomenal finishes so far in the junior ranks. So much to look forward to watching this young angler grow. So come out, support the cause. This is a wonderful tournament put on by family and friends, all in memory of a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful man. So super excited. You can mail your checks in. 1428 Satis Circle in Nitro with your entry, or you can even PayPal Eric through his PayPal. Super cool way to make it a little bit easier on everyone. So that's coming up June 8th. So reach out to him, reach out to the Facebook page In Honor of James Wiseman Fishing Tournament. There is a 50 boat max, I believe. There is still spots. So come out, support a great cause, and it's always a fun time and always a great tournament. The guys do a great job. So I will definitely be up there that day and can't wait for that. So I'm going to jump right into just go through the DNR schedule and see what we have coming up for the 8th. Actually, we're going to jump to this weekend, the 1st and the 2nd. Pretty much I've hit on most of them. Like I said, you have Bass Nation of West Virginia up for the championship on the Mon. Trail of Dreams is down on the Ohio River. This is all Saturday, as long as the Ohio River holds out. The Ohio River Buddy Trail, like I said, I know they said they've went ahead and canceled that, but something could change. Follow along. Marshall University Bass Fishing Trail, of course, is here on the canal in the Charleston area. Shoot them a message if you want to know how to get involved. USA Bassin has an event at Stonewall Jackson Lake this weekend, so that'll be a divisional event. And we're going to burn through here. Looks like a bunch of club tournaments going on this weekend as well. Best of luck to everyone fishing a lot of these other tournaments throughout the weekend. Let's see. And, of course, Kanawha River Bass Club. They have some openings as well for Sunday tournament with Kanawha River. So you need to message that page. That is kind of a invite deal. They have a set of number of anglers they allow, so you might be able to shoot them a message to get in on that. So just reach out to Kanawha River Bass Club. So let's jump right into the following weekend, June 8th and June 9th. Like I said, Bass Festivals will be kicking off Saturday and Sunday. We're hoping they get that in. This is always a great event. Big money on the line. If you're up in that area, go check out the festival. It's going to be a great time. Best of luck to all those anglers there. Of course, MSKA has an Elk River, Mountain State Kayak Anglers Elk River Tournament. Always a great tournament. Multiple bodies of water available for that tournament. That's on Saturday. Bass Nation of West Virginia, Southern Open Series, Bluestone Lake. That's on Saturday, June 8th. So it's coming up a couple weekends away. Give you a little heads up, a little early start. Maybe you can pick out one that you can fish. Let's get right back. Let's see. Of course, if you're a catfisherman, catfisherwoman, Kanawha River Catfish Club, always like to give them a shout out. They got a tournament on the Winfield Pool, 6/8, June 8th as well. And then, of course, like I said, quite a few other small club tournaments. Some of these bass clubs get a pretty good turnout, so you can look through wvdnr.gov fishing main page, then click that tournament page, and you can pull up all this information. So, and that about pretty well wraps up everything that's going on over the next couple weekends. It looks like also West Virginia Kayak Anglers has an event on the 8th as well. So a lot to do, a lot to do. That'll be very exciting. And I can't wait. There's a lot more to come. Took a little break, been a couple weeks. Like I said, it was extremely busy. Thank you for sticking with me and following along. And we will check back with you next week after some of these tournaments wrap up, give you some results, let you know how some things shook up in a couple of the trails. And as always, we will see you on the water. You all have a great weekend. Don't forget to subscribe now, like and share with your friends, and hit that bell icon to be notified when a new video drops.